this is my campus here, where they're holding Carl Sagan Day. And the booths are right over there. There's going to be a guy shooting rockets at 12 o'clock today. It's going to be awesome. Carl Sagan Day. And the lectures are going to be held in the FAU building. Pretty cool.
Put it on. Hold on. So all this together is
Thank you. Teach engineering, astrophysics, science, and paleontology at Seminole Middle School. So yes, I am crazy, but I can put that to good use at this point. This is the fruits of our SECME program, and there's information on that in the green over there. SECME is the Engineering Olympics that Broward County Schools participates every year. And using this, we get students not only to do this, but to know everything about the physics of how this works. Now, we make cars out of mouse traps. We build bridges about this big by this big by this big that can hold 80 to 100 pounds before breaking. Although district record is 800, and we're shooting for that. But the flashiest thing, the things that all the kids in the school love to see, are the rockets. Especially if you accidentally time your launches to coincide with the PE kids. So there's always some soccer game coincidentally going on. So, for today, what, first of all, is a rocket? So, Chris, how would you define a rocket?
Something that uses fuel to shoot up, go into space, fire.
Samir?
A rocket is something that uses Newton's third law to gain propulsion. It expends some kind of fuel, which results in an equal reaction of upward motion.
Now, as you can tell by the fact that I'm out of breath, I have not had the time to coach them on this. If you do actual hands-on physics with your children in class, this is what they will actually learn. They will learn that all a rocket is a pressure vessel that's about to burst. Right now, my favorite demonstration, and this is the thing that mystifies the kids the most, because this is a film canister. And when has cameras needed film canisters, Mr. Leipzig? After all, they're all digital. So I have to really hunt for these. But if you want a great example of a rocket that you could show just about anyone, I have to get these on eBay now. A film canister is a pressure vessel. I'm going to put pressure in this. And once you set the pressure inside, the pressure wants to come out. And you have Newton's third law. And it's a little tube full. Less water, the better. Alka-Seltzer tablet. So I put this in. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. As the gas builds inside there, it's going to want to come out. It pushes down on the table, and the table pushes it back up. Physics. Kids love physics if you make it the hands-on stuff. If it's not just red and blue arrows inside the textbook. So this is one of the best programs I can think of to get the kids interested in physics. And you're going to see the difference from applied physics, from when you just launch a regular rocket and when you have engineering students who can know how to game physics. So, first of all, I'm going to head out to that middle of the field. I'll tell you at launch. One of the bottles, I use utility knives, but you could use very sharp scissors. You're going to cut in half. This is not the pressure vessel, this is just the building material. And the building material, what you will do is tape it onto here. Now, from this point on, once you've chosen which pressure vessel which bottle the pressure vessel is going to be, this is sacrosanct. Do not staple it, do not cut glue on this. If you put a hole in that, your rocket's not going to launch. Samir over here is the only student I have had who knows how to hot glue gun on the pressure vessel and not puncture it. I don't know how to do that, so I mess it up. Now, me put off Cthulhu's Christmas tree for a moment.
That explains this one.
Yes, because that's some mirrors. All right. Now, once you have this, first off, you're going to need fins. The simplest fins you can get, as I've said, are anything that's CVS card material. Now, I don't use any of the gift cards that have numbers on them because they're uneven, so you don't exactly know what they're going to, where they're going to go. But 2 gift cards, 3 gift cards, and you teach the students that they have to be equidistant, because otherwise they're going to lean one way or another. Undoubtedly, this rocket is going to stink terribly because I'm building it and I'm not my students. But we'll see. So, whatever the 3 are, they have to be equal distance from each other. Then you could just use masking tape if you want, duct tape. The stronger tape you use, the better chance that it will survive the flight. But I always tell the kids, it's not the prototype that's important. Don't get attached to the rocket. The purpose of a rocket is to get smashed into bits. Get attached to the plan, because that way you get to know how to do it. Yeah. Right now my students are commenting to themselves on hard lessons learned. And that's why you teach them, because when you teach them stuff like this, they learn their own lessons. It's not, okay, pay attention, I want you to understand the relationship between mass and inertia. It's, okay, how much newspaper do I need to put in this to beat Stevie's rocket? Once you get them competitive, you have them hooked. Now, I'm putting these as equidistant as I can. Undoubtedly it's not, but it's good enough for a Mr. Wizard demonstration like this. The great thing about using those new Coke bottles is they have lines on the bottom of them, so you can exactly line them up. Now, and they're actually giving a talk at the same moment that I am, and I think they're doing a little better at it in certain points, but I'm not going to get jealous. A dollar store birthday hat is one of the best things you can use for this. But, as I had it over here, I've stomped all my nose cones into oblivion, I think. One of these plastic cups also works wonderful. I put this on here, and I just tape it on. Because this means that the air is going to slope over it. Otherwise, I mean, let me ask you a question. If they have the same kind of engine, and they're trying to go for the same speed, which of them are going to go faster? A sports car or an SUV?
Sports car.
Why?
I have no idea.
Anyone have an idea why a sports car is going to go faster than an SUV? It's streamlined. If you don't put this on, it's like it's punching the air. It's going to punch back. It's not going to work. You want to maximize your lift, your thrust, by putting on something like this. And this is something very important with using birthday hats. Always tape up the seam. If you do not tape up the seam, the moment that this gets launched into the air at 75 miles an hour, then this is going to just totally fall apart. It's going to make Apollo 13 look like a successful mission. So always tape up the seam down the side. Now, this will be what we'll use for mostly the end of the launch over here, although you can use some of the harder roller parts. Whenever the school laminator is out of laminate, I just grab those really hard pieces of cardboard.
Like a basketball ball, which was about
cardboard.
on the floor that goes
Right.
high. And then they could slow this down.
Now, over here, I meant to have, alright, it's flattened enough. Crafts Fair styrofoam ball works, but also, you walk past the perfect, I can just taper this off. You walk past the perfect nose cone every time you go to the supermarket. Because the moment you walk in or out, there's a small little machine that sells you some little tchotchke, which is nowhere near as good as the thing that is on the machine. You know, they show you Marvel Comics super figures for 50 cents, and you get like a really bad gummy hand. But that plastic egg that you get it in is perfect. Also, cut in half Easter eggs are perfect. Any of that stuff is absolutely great. Something rounded on the top.
The hardware people.
Yeah. Since all of these fell off by the wind